Imagine stepping out to your backyard on a crisp winter day. The air is chilly, but your kitchen is filled with the warmth of summer's bounty. How? By growing and storing your own delicious crops. Today, we'll embark on a journey to transform your garden into a year-round source of fresh, flavorful food. Don't worry if you're new to this. We'll keep it simple and fun. With a little planning and these foolproof techniques, you'll be enjoying the fruits and vegetables of your labor long after the growing season ends. Whether you have a sprawling backyard or a sunny balcony, there's a storage crop waiting to be nurtured by your hands. So let's roll up our sleeves, dig into the soil, and discover the joys of preserving the season's goodness. Now let's talk about choosing the right crops for your storage dreams. Not all vegetables are created equal when it comes to long-term storage. Some, like delicate lettuce and juicy tomatoes, are best enjoyed fresh from the vine. But fear not, there's a whole world of storage superstars just waiting to meet you. Root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and beets are like the marathon runners of the garden. They can last for months in the right conditions. Onions and garlic are other storage all-stars, adding pungent flavor to your winter dishes. And don't forget about winter squash. Their hard shells protect the sweet, flavorful flesh inside, making them perfect for long-term storage. So choose your champions wisely and let's get ready to plant. Just like a strong foundation supports a house, healthy soil is the backbone of a thriving garden. Before we even think about planting, we need to give our storage crops the best possible start by preparing the soil. Think of it as creating a cozy bed for your plants to snuggle into. First things first, let's loosen up that soil. Compacted soil is like a brick wall to plant roots. They need space to breathe and grow. Use a garden fork or tiller to loosen the top 12 to 15 inches of soil. This will allow for good drainage and root penetration. Next, it's time to add some nutrients. Amending your soil with compost or well-rotted manure is like giving your plants a vitamin boost. These organic materials add essential nutrients and improve soil structure, creating an ideal environment for your storage crops to thrive. Now that our soil is prepped and ready, let's talk timing. Timing is everything when it comes to planting storage crops. Knowing when to plant your storage crops is crucial for a successful harvest. The right timing ensures that your crops have the best chance to mature properly and develop the characteristics needed for long-term storage. Remember, we're playing the long game here. We want our crops to mature slowly and develop those tough skins or rinds that allow for long storage. This slow maturation process is essential for the longevity of your harvest. For most storage crops, fall planting is key. The cooler temperatures and shorter days of fall create the perfect environment for these crops to thrive. This might seem counterintuitive, but hear me out. Planting in the fall might feel unusual, but it has significant benefits. Planting in the fall allows roots to establish themselves during the cooler months, giving them a head start in the spring. This head start is crucial for the development of strong, healthy plants. Plus, many storage crops, like carrots and parsnips, actually develop a sweeter flavor after a touch of frost. The cold temperatures convert starches into sugars, enhancing their taste. Of course, planting times can vary depending on your climate. It's important to understand your local growing conditions and adjust your planting schedule accordingly. A good rule of thumb is to plant root crops 6 to 8 weeks before the first expected frost. This timing allows the crops to establish themselves before the cold sets in. Onions and garlic can be planted even earlier, about 4 to 6 weeks before the first frost. These crops benefit from the extra time to develop strong root systems. So grab your calendar, check your local frost dates, and let's get those storage crops in the ground. With the right timing and preparation, you'll be well on your way to a bountiful and long-lasting harvest. With our storage crops nestled snugly in their soil beds, it's time to talk about keeping them happy and hydrated. Proper nourishment is key to ensuring a bountiful harvest, and it all starts with understanding the needs of your plants. Watering and feeding are essential for any plant, but they're especially important for storage crops, which need to bulk up for the long haul. These crops, like carrots, beets, and potatoes, store energy in their roots, so they need consistent care. Deep, infrequent watering is the name of the game here. This method encourages the roots to grow deeper into the soil, making them more resilient and better able to access moisture during dry spells. We want to encourage those roots to grow deep into the soil, searching for moisture. Deep roots mean stronger plants that can withstand periods of drought and still produce a good harvest. So instead of giving your plants a little sprinkle every day, water them deeply once or twice a week, allowing the water to soak in several inches. This practice not only conserves water, but also promotes healthier root systems. As for feeding, a balanced organic fertilizer applied a few weeks after planting will give your crops the nutrients they need to thrive. Organic fertilizers release nutrients slowly, providing a steady supply of food for your plants. Look for a fertilizer with a slightly lower nitrogen content, as too much nitrogen can lead to leafy growth at the expense of root development. The right balance will ensure your plants focus on growing. Remember, we're after those big, beautiful storage root veggies. With the right care, your crops will reward you with a bountiful harvest that can be enjoyed long after the growing season ends. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp, it's time to reap the rewards of our hard work. The garden has been a labor of love, and now it's time to gather the fruits of our efforts. Harvesting your storage crops at the right time is crucial for maximizing their flavor and storage potential. Timing is everything, and knowing when to pick your crops can make all the difference in how long they last and how good they taste. But how do you know when it's go time? It's not always obvious, but there are some telltale signs to look for. For root crops, look for signs that the tops are starting to die back. This means the plant is directing its energy into the roots, which is what we want. This is a good indication that the roots have reached maturity. Mature roots will be firm and full of flavor, perfect for storage. Gently loosen the soil around the base of the plant with a garden fork and pull the roots up by their tops. Be careful not to break the roots, as this can lead to rot during storage. Onions and garlic are ready to harvest when their tops have flopped over and turned brown. This is a sign that they have stopped growing and are ready to be pulled. Carefully lift the bulbs from the soil with a garden fork, being careful not to damage them. Damaged bulbs won't store well, so handle them gently. And for winter squash, look for hard rinds that resist denting when you press on them with your fingernail. A hard rind means the squash is mature and ready for storage. Cut the squash from the vine with a sharp knife, leaving a few inches of stem attached. This helps prevent rot and extends the storage life of the squash. Enjoy the fruits of your labor all winter long. Now comes the really rewarding part, storing your bounty to enjoy throughout the fall and winter. Proper storage is key to preserving the flavor and freshness of your hard-earned harvest. Let's create a storage haven that would make any squirrel jealous. First things first, location, location, location. Choose a cool, dark, and well-ventilated area for your storage headquarters. A root cellar is ideal, but a cool basement or even a spare refrigerator can work wonders. Next, let's talk containers. Wooden crates, baskets, and cardboard boxes are all excellent choices for storing your harvest. Avoid storing your produce in plastic bags, as this can trap moisture and lead to spoilage. And remember, good air circulation is key, so don't overcrowd your storage containers. Even with the best intentions and greenest thumbs, gardening can sometimes throw us a curveball. But fear not, fellow gardeners. Here are a few common storage crop challenges and their solutions to keep your harvest on track. Root crops are cracking or splitting. Uneven watering is often the culprit here. Make sure you're watering deeply and consistently, especially during dry spells. Onions and garlic are rotting in storage. Proper curing is essential for long-term storage of onions and garlic. After harvesting, let them cure in a warm, dry, well-ventilated area for 2 to 3 weeks before storing. Winter squash is developing soft spots or mold. Check your squash regularly for any signs of damage or decay. Remove any affected squash immediately to prevent the spread of mold or rot. You've embarked on the exciting journey of growing and storing your own food. Remember, gardening is a process of learning and growing alongside nature. There will be triumphs and setbacks along the way, but embrace each step with a spirit of adventure. As you savor the flavors of your stored harvest throughout the year, remember the joy and satisfaction that comes from nurturing life from tiny seeds to bountiful harvests. And never hesitate to experiment, explore, and most importantly, have fun in your garden. So, go forth and grow, my fellow gardeners. May your gardens be filled with abundance and your pantry stocked with the delicious rewards of your labor. Happy gardening!